Hello, everyone. Let's welcome a very enthusiastic Mr. Vivek Kumar to our show. He is a freelance copy editor and founder of the Indian Copy Editors Forum, which is called ICF Facebook group. He has diligently connected so many editors and translators and created an editors fraternity. His group offers freelancers opportunities to connect with other freelancers and also to learn the tips and tricks of the trade. He was presented with the Editors Champion Award at the first ever conference for editors held in Chennai on February 25th, 2018. The award was given in recognition of his efforts to build a community of editors in India. Hi, Vivek.
Yeah, hi Lalita.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me on the show.
Pleasure. I look forward to a wonderful conversation with you.
Yeah, I also would like to share my thoughts and
Sure.
would love to answer your questions.
Okay. So I will start by asking you about copy editing itself. So is it something, it is something that many people do not know, copy editing. So can you explain to us what it is?
The simplest definition would be preparing copy for publication. So anything, any content that's written, it needs to be transformed into a form that is fit for publication, either for print or for electronic. Now, like nowadays, a lot of content is consumed on mobiles. So changing the raw material or the raw content into a form that's understandable to the potential reader. That's how I will define it. And obviously there are a lot of things involved. You need to take care of the grammar, the syntax, the flow of language, usage, spellings, formatting, and a lot of other things to make it presentable, lively, interesting, and engaging.
Okay. So it seems like a complex art, isn't it?
Yeah, it is complex, and it takes a lot of time and effort, a lot of patience on the part of the learner to keep on going. So like you called it a complex art, I will say that it's an art and it's a science also. It's like a combination of both. So there is a mechanical part that one can learn, that one can automate, and there is that artistic or creative thing, or like if we talk of fiction, then a person's imagination also comes into being. So you need to have a flair for reading. You need to have those creative faculties also. It helps.
Okay. Yes. So science and art, as you said. Right.
Yeah.
So how many types of editing are there?
There are many types of editing. Copy editing is one part of it. In fact, I would say it comes at the very end. So when an author is writing a book, at that time he might be working in isolation, or he might be engaging with a developmental editor who will guide the author about the manuscript that he or she is writing. So that developmental editor looks at the structure. It's like a bird's eye view, how the manuscript is flowing and whether the chapters are interconnected, and even within the chapter about the flow of the material. So once that developmental editing is over, then it comes for editing. So the first thing is line editing, where an editor will look at material sentence by sentence, will try to improve the flow and look at word choice and so many other things. And once line editing is over, then it comes to the copy editor, who goes into the manuscript in a lot of detail, a lot of mechanical things he will look and improve, and he will like make the content consistent and make it presentable in line with the style of the publisher or like the medium it's meant for, whether it's a magazine article or a book or a blog. So that's how the flow of material happens. And once it has been copy edited, it will be typeset, and then a proofreader will look at things, because some things can go wrong in typesetting, and there can be some errors that would have been missed by the line editor or the copy editor or the author. So it's basically a chain mechanism, a filtering mechanism, where like at each stage the number of errors, there is an effort to keep on reducing it, and by the very end it should be minimal. I would say like no piece of writing or printing is perfect. There will be errors, but we try to keep it to a minimum and make sure there are no blunders, there are no goof ups that jump out at you.
True. So this is done in consultation with the author, right? Because it is his own work. It is so this editing and writing should go. Does it go hand in hand, or the editor has full power to do it?
No, the author is the ultimate owner of the material that he has written. So an editor can only suggest.
Okay.
Then it's up to the author to like accept those changes or reject those changes. But good authors, they appreciate the value addition that editors do, and editors, they too do try to educate the authors and explain why they have made a certain change. So it's a partnership, and only when both the partners, they work in a symbiotic kind of relationship, only then a good product comes out of the process.
Right. Yes, nice. The worlds of in-house editors and freelance editors are different, right? So the ones who work with the publishers closely in office.
Yeah, it's different. Like they are working as part of a team. At times, the team could be as small as a single person, even in-house. That depends on the size of the organization. And when it comes to book publishing, the team size would be slightly bigger. And if you talk of BPOs or KPOs, like then it can run into hundreds, because those companies, they deal with multiple clients. So there will be a team dedicated to one client, another team for another client. So the word is different, but after COVID, I would say things have changed, because a lot of companies, because during COVID, like everyone was working from home, and post COVID also, employees have realized, okay, this working from home is better for them. They have a better work-life balance, and employers also, they feel, okay, we can cut down on costs. They need not have a 3-story building and pay rent for 3 stories if they can do with 1 story. So people can come to office maybe once or twice a week, and rest of the days they work from their home. So that flexibility is there. So in that way, I would say the lines have slightly blurred when it comes to the differentiation between an in-house editor or a freelancer, because now in-house editors also, they spend a lot of time at home. Obviously, like they are in touch with their teammates and their office mates, and I see a lot of pictures being posted of off-site meetings happening. So where like team members who are based in different places, all of them, they come together at a single place, and they do brainstorming and some team games they indulge in. So things are changing, but yes, there is a difference. There was a huge difference a few years back, but nowadays, like that difference is coming down. And in the same way, like freelancers, they also go out and meet other freelancers, and so that's how it is.
It is true. Vivek, can you explain to us the publishing process in detail?
I think I explained it to just a few questions back. It's the same like an author will have an idea. He will explore that idea, write a first draft, and he can maybe give that first draft to his family or family members or friends. So that is what's called alpha reading.
Okay.
But because they are not experts, like, but they will tell him something. They will provide him some information. After that, he can go for a beta reading, which is again, like, most of it is done free, but it will be done by a set of people who specialize in reading that particular genre. And some of the beta readers, they might charge, but it will be an exception. Then the manuscript will be sent to a publishing house, and they will evaluate it and see whether it fits their publishing program. If it fits, then they will sign a contract with the author, and then the product comes to the publishing company. The developmental editor will work with the author. Then it will go for line editing, copy editing, and if there are illustrations or figures, then those things will be worked into, and there might be some permissions issues that authors will need to take care if they are using some illustrations or photographs or pictures from some other source. So the publisher will sign a contract with the author, and so it's a long process. It takes time, but if the product is good, then it's rewarding. And nowadays, like the self-publishing option, it's always there, because a lot of people are writing. They got time to write during the COVID period. So self-publishing is also a good route, provided the author goes for getting the manuscript edited before they approach a self-publisher. Because that way they will ensure some quality control of the content. Because the books that I have read in the past few months, I'm not happy with the quality of editing that I have seen in self-published books. So the suggestion that I give to authors is, okay, you invest so much of time in writing, then please consider the editing angle also and invest some money in that, because that's going to hugely improve their product. And there are instances where self-published books have done better. They have sold a lot of copies, and then a traditional publisher has shown interest, and the subsequent editions have been published by the traditional publisher. So they should not rush through. They should give it time and invest in proper resources, whether it's the cover design or the interior, the formatting of the book, or the typesetting. And the first thing is the copy editing. Like, the editing has to be done. It's not something they can do away with. If they do that, then they are ultimately harming their product.
Yeah, that's true. Vivek, do you think artificial intelligence will, not exactly replace, but at least to a certain degree, replace the ability to take editorial decisions?
I don't think so, because human judgment is involved. Like, there are things that can be automated. If there is a pattern, so that will obviously happen, and that will impact areas where it's applicable. But I don't think when it comes to editing, because grammar, and particularly when it comes to English language, it's such a funny language. There are so many rules and there are as many exceptions. So one word can have so many different meanings. So it's difficult for a artificial intelligence algorithm software program to differentiate between those particular uses of that word. So at present, I will say I don't see much of a threat or much of a harm, because the thinking process, the human thinking process, it's very highly evolved, and at least in my lifetime, I don't see my job coming under any sort of threat.
Okay. Vivek, you started the Facebook group called Indian Copy Editors Forum. So what was the aim of starting the group and how has it grown since?
Well, like I started working as a freelancer in December 2010.
Okay.
And the initial few years, like they were busy, very busy, because you need to do a lot of samples and you are trying to build your client list. And initially the rates offered might not be very good. So you have to do more pages, like to earn your bread and butter. But after a period of time, when you get a good set of clients, and then you can decide, okay, how many hours you have to work. And then you start maybe missing the office company that you have. So in 2015, I joined a Facebook group called Editors Association of Work. And I came to know of a conference that was going to be held in Toronto. So it was being organized by Editors Association of Canada. And they were inviting all the other editors associations from like different countries, people from US, UK, Switzerland, New Zealand, France, so many countries were there. So I thought, okay, why don't we go there and represent India, because India is huge when it comes to publishing. The numbers are huge, the number of books that come out in India. So I got in touch with my mentor, Dr. Venkat.
Okay.
I worked with him when I was in Aptara and later in SPI also. So I asked him to write to them and present a paper. So he wrote to them, his proposal was accepted, and he presented a paper. He was the only Asian to present a paper at that international conference. And when we came back, we thought, okay, so many countries which have so many editors, they have a editing association representing their editors. But in India, we have nothing. So we should have something. And easiest way to create a group was to create a Facebook group, because there are no legalities, no registration kind of thing involved. So on 28th of June 2015, I started the group, and I added 25, 30, 40 editors that I knew at that point of time. And then I asked them to add editors that they knew. In that way, we have been progressing, and like it has been more than 7 years, and now we have like around 2,600 members. And it's still, even though it's still an informal Facebook group, but offline also we meet, and we have had like 95 plus meetings already in different cities all over India. And we even had like some of our members, they met in Singapore. So and on this coming 19th of November, we are going to have a big meeting in Noida where we are expecting 30 plus editors to come.
Nice.
So we are not registered as yet. We are informal, but the arrangement has worked out fine in creating a community. And we have a lot of WhatsApp groups where people ask their queries. They share the job leads, job requirements they come across. And then a lot of people have got jobs because of that. Publishers, they have been able to fulfill their vacancies. And during the COVID period, we ran a webinar series that went on for 55 consecutive Sundays.
Okay.
So I count that particular webinar series as a big achievement, because nobody had done it like us without a break. And when we started at that time, we were not aware that we will go on for so many weeks.
Okay. So is that webinar series available for the general public to view, or was it?
Yeah, it's all the sessions are available on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
So they can search Indian Copy Editors Forum, and they will be able to like find the videos.
Sure. Yeah. Great. We heard that you're working on a handbook for editors. So can you tell us about it?
Yeah, initial idea was to bring out a handbook, but when material started coming in and the brainstorming happened, we had more material than a single book would be able to accommodate. So we thought, okay, there is so much to be said. Why not treat it as a series? So instead of a handbook, like initially it was to be the ICF Handbook for Editors. Now we are calling it a series, and the name of the series is ICF Handbooks for Editors. So it's going to be a series of handbooks.
Okay.
And the first book will be like Copy Editing as a Career, Discover the Editor in You. Because that's where things start, because we need to spread awareness about this wonderful profession. And so people need to know, particularly youngsters when they are in college, they need to know what copy editing is, how they can get in, what are the job prospects, and what they need to do, where they can get training, and what are the complexities involved, what are the tools they need. And so that's what we are going to cover in book one. Then we are thinking of coming out with a book for freelancers. Because freelancers, they have a different set of challenges. They are a one-man army, like they need to hunt for a client and then do the work, take care of accounting and invoicing and payments, their hardware and software. So all those things we will cover in that book. And there are so many editorial niche different areas that are there. So that will be in another book. And then a handbook for I would maybe call it a beginner's handbook for copy editors. They read the first book, they feel okay, it's a good choice. Now what exactly I need to do, and how do I need to do those particular things, in which order. So those things we will cover in that book. So at present it's a set of 4 books that we are planning. The first book should be out by maybe March, April 2023. And the second book also should follow pretty soon, maybe by the end of the year. And then 2024, we will plan to come out with the book for freelancers. Early 2024, I would say.
Okay, nice. And you will make this available for online purchase, right? Through Amazon or such portals.
We will make sure that anyone who wants the book, they get the book. So obviously Amazon is one big platform where people go for books, but we will make it available in bookstores also, and they can maybe order it through our website and through the publisher's website, whether ICF is the publisher or whether we go for some other publisher. So there will be multiple options. And we even plan to do a book tour, because it's a multi-author book. So we have 30 plus authors based in different cities. So all the authors, they can do a book launch wherever they are located. And that way people in their city, they can get access to the book immediately. I also plan to maybe visit a few places, meet ICF members there, and have a launch for the book.
Very nice.
So getting the book is not going to be a problem.
Sure.
And because we have some international authors also, so we have to make sure that it's available not only in India, but in other countries also, particularly like South Asia.
Okay. What are the challenges the editors are facing today? So I would like to discuss that.
So I hope you mean freelance editors. That's
yes, mainly freelancers.
Yeah, first thing is that there is a lack of awareness. Like they need to spread their wings wide, I would say. Like being a freelancer doesn't mean that they keep themselves restricted to their home. Once a week or once a month they should go out and meet people, and because that's how they will get to know what's happening in the industry, what's the other person doing, how he's doing it. So, and maybe do less number of pages, but focus on quality, spend some time on continuous learning, continuous professional development. So challenges are because of a lot of things that they don't do.
Okay.
If they do their homework well, they will get a good client. They will not have to work as many hours, and they can devote the hours they save in commuting. They can spend time with their family and do some reading for pleasure, because even though our job involves reading throughout the day, but we are always picking errors. So maybe we need something that's written well for our minds to keep it fresh.
Yes.
If that is also not written well, then like we need to sit with a pen. Like that's a bad habit. We have a pencil in hand and we start marking in the book also. But the challenges can be handled very successfully if they do the homework, if they have patience.
Okay. So it's about trainings. So does ICF arrange any trainings? Like you said, there was a series of webinars. So do you also organize trainings for editors or copy editors?
Yeah, like some of our members, they're very good trainers.
Okay.
And Mr. Yatin Joshi, who's like based in Pune, he keeps on traveling all over India and he conducts workshops for different organizations. And like he informs us in advance, okay, which place he will be traveling. And then we ask our ICF members in those cities to arrange a meeting with Mr. Joshi. If it can be a workshop, then it's even better. So he has done some workshops for us in Delhi. He has done he did a workshop in Dehradun. He did a workshop in Bengaluru. So he's always willing with whatever time he can spare. So those workshops are held. Another member like Murugaraj Shanmugam, he runs an online training company by the name of Editors Essentials. So he's based in Chennai. He has done some offline workshops and he offers a hybrid model where I think some recorded videos are there, and he conducts live training sessions also. Then Dr. Venkat, he has a website by the name of The Art of Copy Editing. So he runs a lot of courses online, and like ICF is always ready to engage with good trainers and offer the workshops, whether online or offline, to our members. And we have done a couple in Delhi at YMCA, which were very successful. Once we did like a multi-session workshop, like which had 5-6 sessions from morning till evening. We have done half-day workshops. We have done evening workshops. So we have done a lot of things. Like we are very flexible in terms of that.
Okay, that's nice. Now coming to the, I have finished my questions about editing. Now I want to ask something to you. What is your favorite genre when you read books? And who are your favorite authors?
Like I mainly read travelogues because I don't get time to travel as much, because of the responsibilities at home. I have to take care of my kids' studies. So I keep myself engaged by like reading those books, and some of those books have been written by ICF members. Yeah. Plus, like I read anything related to finance or anything like any bestseller. So non-fiction is basically which I enjoy.
That's nice. And do you plan to learn any more languages? Like Indian or international?
I did try German when I started freelancing, but couldn't continue it for long. And I think taking out time is an issue, because like
That's true.
I have to devote time to my work, and then ICF takes up a lot of time.
Yes. You have been in this industry for a long time. So what changes would you like to see happening in this industry? Language industry as such, not especially editing.
Yeah, one thing which is like needed big time is that training courses need to be institutionalized. That's the first step that has to happen. Like students who are doing BA honors or MA in English literature, so they should have access to quality training material, quality training courses that are conducted by universities, and universities need to look into that. Private universities can look into that. Like some of the universities, they do have a module on copy editing or editing as part of their BA course, but I think copy editing in itself, like they are such vast areas, so maybe they need more than what a module can cover. And if it's institutionalized, then people take it seriously. It's taken seriously in the job market, and then there has to be a interface or some kind of a partnership happening between the publishing industry and the universities. So that interface has to be there, because once they're out from the college with a degree in publishing or editing, they should have a group of publishing companies to choose from, where they can do their internship, and then they are absorbed in those companies. So training needs to be taken up big time.
Okay.
Because everyone is looking for trained resources, and they want the person not to commit any errors. But in absence of in-house training, where a mentorship used to happen between seniors and juniors, so the industry needs to look at it. They need to spare some resources, maybe from their CSR quota, CSR fund, but they need to invest in getting people trained, because only then those resources are going to be available for everyone.
True. Yeah, that's a great suggestion. Great. It was really wonderful talking to you, and it was very informative as well.
Yeah, thanks, Lalita. Thanks for giving me this chance, and I hope the people who will watch this interview, they gain something out of it. And like, I'm always available on LinkedIn. They can send me a connection request or join my group. They can come for our meetings. So that way, I am always available to guide young people or people who are looking to transition from one career into another career. So that way, and all of our members, like, they are also available all the time.
Okay, sure. So thank you, Vivek, for sparing your time for my show, and you have a nice day, and wish you all the best for your books.
Oh, thanks, Lalita. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.